Perfect. Okay. Oh, that was a bit weird there. This can get edited out. That's fine. So hi everyone. I am joined with Lee from Pontoon Solutions, who not only has made his first Odro placement within the last 6 weeks since being trained, but also made a further three, so a total of four placements, which is just absolutely amazing. So, Lee, thank you so much for your time. I just wanted to obviously kind of catch up with you, see how you're doing, and maybe if you could just kind of go a little bit into like what your desk look like at the moment, like what your role within Pontoon Solutions is.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Louise. Thanks for inviting me on the call. Excuse me. I'm a strategic sourcing consultant. I've been with Pontoon now for 6 years. This is my sixth year. Um,
Goodness, okay.
yeah, it's quite a while. I do a variety of roles, to be honest. Everything from digital work, software developers, um,
Okay.
hard to fill roles, executive level roles. Roles that are notoriously hard or geographical
Yep.
locations where there's a dry talent pool and that sort of stuff. So I sort of go
Okay.
into troubleshooting and do what I can. So in the run up to lockdown, one of the roles that we were looking at was for Bank of America, which was
Hmm.
notoriously hard to fill. Only
I
really
can imagine.
because yeah, it was specifically really because of the location. Excuse me, sorry.
Hmm.
Because of the location in Chester and
Right.
the, uh,
Okay.
the the talent pool in Chester doesn't refresh itself as quickly as we would want to because of the volume of
Okay.
work that we had, and the hiring managers had some problems managing the amount of people that were going through, managing the interviews.
Okay.
So a colleague of mine had suggested to use Odro, so that's a shout out
Hmm.
to Cordelia Rubiana there. She
Well done, Cordelia.
yeah, so she was on my training session as well. So we had the session on the same day. And
Fab.
we had the conversation with the hiring manager literally 24 hours later. And Cordelia had quite rightly suggested that we could remove some of the pain for him to allow him some more free time. So they don't have to do any of the phone interviews and allow us to
Hmm.
utilize Odro in that sense. And he was very happy to do that. He went away, worked with his managers to consolidate some of the questions down so we could do 15-minute video interviews rather than a half an hour phone
Okay.
interview.
Yep.
And then when lockdown happened, the process sort of evolved to where he would allow us to do the Odro interview once he'd initially screened the CV, and then he
Hmm.
would do a 30-minute conference call with the candidate once he's satisfied with the review of the video. And
Yep.
since that process has been established, we've achieved I've achieved three offers for that particular client.
Amazing.
And the other client
Amazing.
that we've been using it for has been Standard Life in Edinburgh. Again, similar service desk role, and again because of lockdown, the service desk has had quite a ramp up of queries as you'd expect. So again,
Yeah.
they had additional resource, and their process similar. We send the profile over. If they're happy
Hmm.
with that, they'll ask us again to do a 15 to 20-minute audio interview on their behalf. Again,
Hmm.
with questions that they've supplied, and then there will be an offer directly on the back of that video. So we've
Okay.
actually had two offers on that now as well. So actually that's
Oh.
five, isn't it? Sorry, yeah, so that's five.
Oh, wait, so this is breaking news. You've actually got a
Yeah,
fifth
sorry.
placement.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. Tail end of last week was
Amazing.
was the fifth. Sorry, yeah, I forgot to tell you. And then
Oh,
at
that's
2 o'clock,
amazing.
yeah, yeah. It's always all going well. And then 2 o'clock today, I've got another audio interview booked for Standard Life at 2 o'clock. And I'm looking to book another one with another candidate as well. So the pipeline's
That's
strong.
amazing.
Candidates are very receptive to it. Also, as well, we've been utilising it for talent pooling and for hot listing
Okay.
to support the CV and profile that we're sending to hiring managers. So, of course, given the situation, a lot of roles have gone on hold, and I'm sure most recruiters are experiencing at the moment. So when we're specking CVs over to hiring communities and sharing profiles, we're also attaching a 2 or 3 minute solo interview, um, solo sell, I suppose, that the
Hmm.
candidates are doing themselves, where we provide them two or
Good
three
idea.
questions. And again, just what they're doing now, what they want to do next, geographical locations they're open to, the sort of money they're looking
Yeah.
for, the type of clients they want to go into, and we have found from that people have been achieving interviews on the back of that. So we've built
That's amazing.
a brand new talent pool within one of our databases to accommodate this and to allow the Odro to feed through as well. So it's a tool that's been it sort of landed at the right time, if anything,
Yeah.
and I feel like we've used it quite sensibly in a lot of places. And also as well, the hiring manager Jason for Bank of America, he was extremely receptive to this because a lot of people on his senior leadership team are of course over in America, so it allows them to review the Odro videos as well because they do have input on the recruitment process, and it's also made the time to hire a bit quicker as well.
That's amazing. Like everything you're saying there is funny because obviously, you know, we carry out the training sessions and we know the benefits and we're telling all the consultants about the benefits, but everything you've mentioned there is literally mirrored probably every single benefit that we talk about.
Excellent.
Multiple people involved in hiring process, decision-making processes, just half the time
Mm.
making it easier. Like it just sounds that you're just really using it to like its full capability, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah, very much
Brilliant.
so. I mean, with Pontoon, we're not set up in a 360 manner, so there isn't
Mhm.
I suppose, that element of it that was part of the
Yep.
training towards the end of the session.
Yep.
But I think the hot listing element of it with the solo interviews has sort of captured
Hmm.
as you say, that particular capability. We, I
Yep.
suppose, just switched it a little bit to fit our own requirements, which works extremely well.
Good. And I'm so glad that, like, so obviously you said that their clients in particular, like it was really well received for them. They could obviously understand like what you could do for them on their behalf and some of their processes. From a candidate's perspective, like had they been introduced to video before? Were they comfortable with the process? Obviously, I suppose right now everyone is doing some
Yeah,
form of video, but
yeah, very much so. So a handful of them were a little bit, I won't say standoffish about it or defensive,
mhm,
but they were a bit like, oh yeah, okay,
what's this?
yeah, yeah, sort of. But of course, with that element of coaching, sometimes people are a bit resistant to install programs on the laptops and on the
Yep.
phones. So it's a
Yep.
really good tell as well that it is just literally click and go, if you like, so there's nothing to
Yep.
install or run. And a lot of people have commented on that, how easy the process is to even just do the actual recording.
So just log
Uh,
on. Yep.
yeah, very much so. I mean, I've not had anybody decline the video interview when we've been qualifying candidates about the role. We're, of course, giving them the heads up that this is part of the process, given lockdown,
Yep.
but it will be something that we will be utilising moving forward when things go back to normal anyway. Because I
Yep.
think now we've had such a ramp up of usage, I feel like it would be wrong to sort of fall back into old ways and go back on older
Yeah.
processes when
Yep.
this has shown the capability, it's shown that we can be a little bit more, um, I was going to say futuristic, then it's not the right word, a little bit more progressive, sorry, is the word I was looking for,
Yep.
um, to allow these things to happen. But the candidates, of course, in my world, it's mostly IT work that I do. So again,
Hmm.
the candidates are quite familiar with it anyway,
Yep.
with doing video interviews. There hasn't been any issues with any kits. People have used it in a variety of different browsers. We've had candidates using it on different types of phones, and again, it's all
Okay.
been it's all been very slick. There hasn't really been any issues at all. There hasn't been multiple
Good.
people in the room, and yeah, it's been very slick.
Good. Good. I was actually, it's funny you mentioned that 'cause I was going to ask you, like, do you think you would go back to your previous methods of recruiting and, as you say, like headhunting and trying to get candidates on board and like telephone interviews? But you pretty much answered that. Like, it's this is now how you do it.
I think so. Yeah, I think with certain clients and certain roles, that this process works extremely well.
Hmm.
With some other ones, I think we'd have to be a little bit more strategic with how
Yeah,
we sell it
definitely.
to the clients, of course, and equally how we use it with the candidates at certain parts of the process.
Hmm.
But again, as I say, with the hot listing and the solo sell and part of the interview process, a lot of my colleagues as well have been arranging qualification calls to do a
Okay.
full initial qualification call using Odro as well, to,
Cool.
to capture
Okay.
that information up front. Again, just to strategically try and use it in elements of the process where we can see benefits mutually among colleagues, clients, and the candidates, of course.
Good. And your clients, had they been exposed to video before? Like, had they used anything internally? Or was
Yeah,
it?
yeah, very much so. So, Bank of America in particular, they use HireView. I
Mhm.
believe I think Lloyds Banking Group use that as well.
Okay.
Historically, we've used it as a business for certain pockets of campaigns.
Yep.
Naturally, Skype, Teams, Zoom,
Yeah.
of course. So all of these have been used, of course, throughout lockdown. So they
Mhm.
weren't unfamiliar with it.
Okay.
Bank of America had to just confirm that they were allowed to use the software because of their firewalls, of course, being a banking
Of
institution.
course.
But
Yep.
we did a couple of tests. Jason's management team were happy to move forward, and they said as long as there's nothing to install and all that sort of stuff. And
Yep.
so there was no calls to IT, and again to get firewalls removed and that
Good.
sort of thing. So
That's
yeah,
good.
very receptive.
Good. I think it helps if if clients have already had exposure to video, because it's not it's just something else you don't necessarily have to like overcome as such. Like they're
Mhm.
open to video, they are aware that it works. It's just about the services that you can offer them
Mm.
on top of that, which is good. So I'm assuming the plan moving forward for obviously kind of Bank America and Standard Life, any of the kind of future roles, is just to continue the same process that you've had, like you've kind of got going on at the moment.
Yeah, very much so. Well, with the team that I work with in the strategic
Mhm.
sourcing team, we have a lot more interaction directly with hiring communities. So
Okay.
it's a little bit of an easier sell in that way because we
Yep.
don't have a recruitment business partner that we have to go through. And again, I think it just offers that slightly more progressive and slicker
Of
surface
course.
process, sorry, and service
Yep.
that they would expect from recruiters that have been within the business for a longer time. So yeah, I don't see any reason why this won't be used to its full capacity when everyone's back in the office and the volume
Yep.
of roles ramps up further. And yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get plenty more deals in.
That's amazing. And how have you been finding things generally speaking? Just obviously with kind of working from home and the whole COVID-19 situation. Like, obviously, it sounds like you're still very much busy
Yeah,
anyway. But yeah.
yeah. There's still roles out there to fill. So our team have got various specific verticals. So
Mhm.
there's like cybersecurity, finance, risk,
Yep.
and digital, and again, me is a bit of a mixed bag. And we've still got roles coming in. There's plenty of things that are still required, even though the situation that we're in, of course, the service
Yeah.
desk work I'm doing, that is a direct result of the impact of businesses having to ramp up their and stress test their services and their
Okay.
servers, etc. So that's a direct result of that. It's a very difficult time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my wife's been furloughed at the moment, which no one ever wants, but of course, protection from the
Yeah.
government, that sort of thing. At least people aren't losing jobs.
Of
I
course.
think as a society, I think we'll come back stronger for it,
Yeah.
and I hope that we can appreciate the freedom of normality
Yeah.
when things do go back to normal.
I know, I know. I was talking about that to my husband actually. I thought, what's the first thing we're going to do? Like, where's the first place we're going to go and eat? Like, we
Yeah,
can...
two words up my mouth.
I'm like, what do we go for? There's just going to be so much choice, but it's yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think it is. We will pick back up from this, and it's just ensuring that everyone is kind of doing what they can do to help. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for obviously kind of discussing the placement. That's great. And I will obviously catch up with you. Obviously, fingers crossed and good luck for the 2 o'clock.
Thank you.
The 2 o'clock call, which I will keep everything crossed and wait to hear. And if you want to email me the details, I'll make sure that fifth one is logged for you as well.
Oh yes, I'll
So
do that now. Yeah.
you're in the competition. So that's you got like 5 entries in the competition already, which is awesome. So it could be you.
Excellent.
But yeah, honestly, just thank you so much, and I'm so happy that it's working for you. And it's just like you're just running with it because it's just it quickly becomes a different way of processes in life and just getting used to it. So
Mhm.
well done, good luck, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.
Same to you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.